Yo, yo, yo. You are now tuned in to Options Gang Radio. I'm not even sure what episode number we on, but whatever number it is, it gotta be a special, very, very special number, because right now we have a very extremely special guest. So for some of y'all that have been rocking with me for a minute, that used to tune in to the Cryptology podcast that we had with Elgin and Dutch, shouts out to them. Y'all might have run across, and in the Options Game Crypto channel, there's been whispers about this man, being that this man was one of the first. I mean, when this dude was talking about this cryptocurrency, nobody was talking about this shit. Nobody. And on top of that, not only was nobody talking about it, he tried to show us the prophecy, and I rejected the prophecy. And this is probably the only person that just 1,000% proved me wrong on a call on a cryptocurrency, just straight up wrong. So we got Jadi the Jedi back with us in the building. And
what's good, man?
Yo, Jadi, first of all, man, I want to, good looks for you checking in, because I know right now you a elite nigga. So y'all dudes, I gotta, you at that tax bracket that we can't, I gotta schedule shit with you. You know what I'm saying? So, Jadi, man, it's great to have you here, man. Before we even get into it, for the people that don't know or didn't listen to the Cryptology podcast episode, how much was Link when you would first came on Cryptology talking about Link?
It was bouncing between 19 cents and 55 cents, something like that.
And how much is Link currently?
But last I checked, $16.30 as of today. And the all-time high just a couple weeks ago was a little bit over $20, and $20.11.
Jesus Christ! And you've been holding Link ever since, correct?
Not only have I been holding, I've increased my position since then. Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much you're willing to disclose with the listeners, but are you willing to give? Shit, that's my bad. Let me take my phone settings off. But can you give us an idea or approximation? Hold on, let me kick my fucking dogs out of here. Y'all niggas get out of here. Hold on a second.
You want to know? You want to know?
This is a real nigga podcast, so we got real nigga problems that happen.
He trying to eat?
Nah. He's out here causing a mess. So without going, disclosing as much as you feel comfortable with, can you give us an idea of how much Link you had at that moment and how much Link you've accumulated since then?
Okay. Against my better judgment, because I used to be very open and talk about it, because I didn't understand back then. I had a sense of what was going to happen, right? And you always have this belief that something's going to happen, but it's much different, to see it actually taken to fruition and have to deal with the consequences of that. And I think one of the consequences that you're talking about right now is a very real consequence, right? I remember we did the Cryptology podcast with, I think her name was Bitcoin Babe or Bitcoin Girl. Remember her?
Yeah, Bitcoin Bombshell. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin Bombshell. Yeah, and she was subject to a hack, right?
Absolutely.
And so the fear is always, that you put yourself out there in a position to be targeted. The good news is I'm not dumb by any means necessary. I'm not calling her dumb. In fact, her and I spoke briefly after that happened, and she agreed, right, that it was against her better judgment, knowing that she was a public figure and having how much he had on an exchange. I don't have any of my links on an exchange. So let me preface that. So if anybody has any ideas, they're more than welcome to try. They're not going to get anywhere because none of my links are in my exchange. But they're not.
And that's something we always tell people. Like cold storage, you have to go cold storage when you got like big holdings. You got to have it in cold storage.
Not only do I have cold storage, but my encryption key is broken up in 2 pieces. So I don't have the encryption key on me. If I were to lose my ledger and I'd have to reorder one and reprogram it with the encryption key, I would have to go to 2 separate people to get my encryption key. That's how much I protect it. But to answer your question, I'm a top 1% wallet holder of Chainlink, and I am. There are not 500 wallets with more Chainlink than me. So that
I think that's enough. I think that's enough information.
To put it to you like this, I 2 weeks ago I quit my job, and I am semi-retiring. I'll be moving to Louisiana, just because it's a lot easier to stretch a couple $1 million over there than it is here in Hawaii. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with work.
No, I feel you, son. A couple mil, I'm buying a property and I'm chilling the fuck out. Put my property taxes in.
Yeah. And I'm getting me an options box.
Oh, that. Yeah, we releasing those at the end of the year. So for anyone listening, we got.
Yeah, I'm in line.
No, that's what's up. We definitely got a spot for you. You know what I'm saying, when that drops.
20,000 liquid shouldn't be a problem.
I know, goddamn, I know. So let me ask you a question, man. Because Link, as someone, and you know what's so crazy, because a lot of people talk hold gang, hold, but a lot of people ain't really holders, meaning that, yeah, it's easy to hold when your shit is down because you're not trying to sell for a loss.
Oh, yeah.
But when your shit is up, it's very hard to still be a holder. So, have at any point you felt like I need to liquidate my Link position? Have you liquidated a good amount of it? Like how did you? Because I know you're still holding a significant amount of Link, but you've been holding and accumulating from the jump. At any point, are you like, yo, I need to sell some of this, I need to liquidate, I need to exit out?
That's a good question, and it's actually something that allows me to perhaps give advice to any of the listeners out there. What are some of the things that can do to hold their positions a little bit longer? There's been 3 instances that 3 or 4 instances that the thought has really crossed my mind. One of them where I liquidated a little bit. I liquidated about 1,000 Link in order to buy an engagement ring. Your boy's engaged, so shout out to my fiance out there, Erin.
She's a very lucky woman, extremely lucky woman.
We're both lucky.
Absolutely.
And what's crazy, is, we joke around about Link, her and I, but she wild, man. I remember, I'll tell you 2 stories about Erin that give you that tell you the kind of dragon energy that she has, as we once talked as we once named an episode on cryptology. We were in San Francisco during the COVID crash, right? All markets crashed during COVID, and I remember Link went from about $4.80 to about $1.50. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Carl. Like I was like in full like when you feel that heat. I don't know how you guys feel, right? But like when FUD kicks in.
I know. Trust, I know what you're talking about,
bro. It's heat, right? Like your body temperature rises.
This shit
like,
feel crazy. Your shit start clamming up. Yeah, shit feel crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I was in San Francisco, seeing it at about $1.80. And she's asking me, like, what's wrong? Granted, Carl, I promise you, we had just started dating. And she goes, what's wrong? And, and I explained to her what it is. And at this point, I'm still buying dips. So I was blessed in the sense that COVID crash allowed me to increase my position because that's how much faith I had. Instead of selling, I was just buying more and more. We got back to Hawaii, and she was like, she was asking me what was wrong, and I explained to her what happened and the story of me buying and how nervous I was, and she was like, she was like, so how do I get into this? And I was like, you're just gonna buy something because I say so? She's like, yeah. I actually had her listen to the podcast so she understood, and I said, okay, well, how much do you want to throw in? And she said, well, I don't want to just buy it because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll give you $20,000 to buy some. I was like, what kind of energy is this? And she's like, if you're telling me it's gonna go up, I trust you. And so thanks to her, right, in a way she paid for her own engagement ring because we liquidated some of those.
Yeah, she
some of that
definitely paid for her own engagement ring because that's crazy.
Yeah, I used her profits, but so she had a lot of energy then, and the other story is she told a buddy of mine who was like, I want to get into Link. I was thinking small. What would be a good amount? Mind you, he's talking to me. And she interjects, right? Like she's been a Link Marine forever. She interjects. She goes, about 5,000 should do it. And my buddy was thinking about investing like a few $100, and he just looks at me like she crazy. I was like, listen, she wild.
Did he do it?
So yeah. He to this day, he put in I don't think he put in 5,000. I think he ended up putting in like 2,500. But this is around $3 that he put in 2,500. So he's obviously enjoying, massive amount of profits. But it's crazy. She's lucky, but at the same time, I'm very lucky to have someone who believed, in what I was preaching and has allowed us to make those moves to Louisiana a little bit faster and a little bit more comfortable.
That's dope, man. And I tell dudes all the time, like, it's very hard. Like, if you grinding when you single, that's one thing. But if you with somebody and they don't understand your vision, they will hold you back. And it's very hard to be successful when you're with someone who doesn't understand where you're trying to go and the sacrifices it's going to take for you to get there.
100%, Carl. That's great advice. I have another buddy who liquidated his entire Link position. We're talking about 10,000 links. Think about that. We're talking right now about 160 G's. He liquidated 10,000 links back when it was about $1.90, because he felt pressure from his girl to go ahead and put a down payment on a home. And at the time, it was a good change of money, a good chunk of money, but we had a lot of conversations about, the importance of what you're talking about, right? The importance of having this vision and understanding, right? My girl, in fact, my girl says the opposite. She's like, don't touch that money until we're ready to touch that money. So, which is part of the original question that you asked, right? Have I felt that pressure to liquidate? And there have been. Another time that I felt that pressure to liquidate was when I moved to Hawaii. I was not necessarily in the best financial position. When I came over here, my entire life savings was in Link. At that time, it was like 60 cents. And so I put about $5 or $6 into a credit card to move out here. And so it would have been very easy to liquidate about 10,000 links back then is what it would have taken to pay for those costs. But I put it on a credit card, Carl, and I came out here and I opened up a free line, a free credit line, one of them credit cards that you can do a balance transfer with no interest. And so I transferred that to no interest, so I wouldn't have to touch my Link. And then I just buckled down and I paid that car off. And I'm blessed once again that I didn't touch those 10,000 links. Because could you imagine what that what that move would have cost me
I mean,
had I
that
liquidated
10,000
ten
that
thousand